we can get. Okay, I think people are still tuning in. Your brother is still trying to get in, Thomas. So I guess we can get started, and then whenever people can come in, they come in.
Oh
But
yeah. See the list is growing.
yeah, it's gonna take us a minute. 10 a.m. on Tuesday. It's gonna take a minute for people to tune in. But I do want to get started. As people are joining in, we can always, circle back to the questions later on. But I am super, super happy to introduce to Team Legacy. We are here with Team Legacy. Basically, most of us here in Houston, Dallas and Austin. This is our regular Tuesday Zoom at 10 a.m. And there's some kind of value added to my team, to our team, just to keep everybody updated with what's going on in the real estate industry. And as you all know, Houston has been hitting with some recent hurricanes, and I start receiving more and more questions from my landlord clients or my past clients about, how to handle when it comes to claims and, damages caused by hurricane. And that is why I am so happy to welcome, we have three guests, special guest speaker for today. We have Phillips and Thomas from AKD Law Firm. And I also want to take this opportunity to say thank you for AKD to sponsor our event, the party tomorrow, team appreciation event tomorrow. It's mean a lot to us, and we cannot wait to hear and learn from both of you for today. So without further ado, Thomas and Phillips, why don't you take over, introduce yourself, tell us about your law firm, and we're ready for your presentation.
All right. Thank you very much, May. So my name is Thomas Huang. I am an attorney based in New Orleans. I'm also administrative judge for the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board. But I do a lot of work in New Orleans. The past 2-3 years since Ida, we've really picked up on cases that has to do with natural disaster, mostly hurricanes and tornadoes. So the Huang Law Firm has been doing that for the last 2-3 years, almost exclusively on that. And in that time frame, we also partner with AKD, which is also a New Orleans-based law firm that does a lot of personal injuries and insurance work for plaintiffs. And with that, we also part up with the Pandit Law Firm. Pandit Law Firm is also one of the sponsors for tomorrow that I think May forgot to mention. So I want to also give a shout out to the Pandit Law Firm, which is Mr. Philip Sunoff's firm. And I'm not going to take too much time on that. I think some already have attended the last presentation we have. The last presentation, I flew to Houston, May, and the group has been very generous to give us their time and to present that. Last time was a lot more about the claim process and Louisiana process. Now today, I really want to focus and introduce you guys to someone from the Pandit Law Firm, Mr. Philip Sunoff. Mr. Philip Sunoff is very seasoned, veteran. He's a major trial lawyer. He actually, before he went to the Pandit Law Firm, he tried oil and gas cases, and he won the largest verdict in Eastland County, Texas, in recent years. And then after that, he decided, okay, now I'm going to go over and take care of property insurance. And after that, he also has very major wins. And not only that, he's from Texas. He survived Hurricane Ike, survived Hurricane Harvey. He fought the insurance company, so he knows how it is for landlords, renters, investors who are always fighting to make sure that they get their fair share of compensation in the insurance company, for the insurance company. So I'm not going to go into a little bit more. I'll let Philip take over. Philip can talk a little bit more about himself. I know he's not going to say all that, so I got to make sure I tell you guys how great of a trial lawyer he is. So I'll hand off to you, Philip.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Thank y'all for giving us a little time today. A little bit about me, as was said, I lost my house to Hurricane Ike. That was my introduction to fighting insurance companies. My partners at the time at Lanier Law Firm thought that I would be the one to let all of us figure out how to get our insurance companies to pay. And so I have been doing virtually exclusively first party insurance claims for homeowners and commercial property owners since 2008 when Hurricane Ike hit. My wife said no more hurricanes, that we're going to lose our house. So we moved to Cinco Ranch from the area we lived over in Champion Forest. And sure as heck, Harvey rained on our house for 5 days. We lost our house flood to Hurricane Harvey. We're back in it now. And Hurricane Beryl hit us pretty good. A week ago, I got my insurance company checked. I'm pointing to my roof because I just got my roof paid for about a week ago. So I know that the claim process is still going on for a lot of folks. And we are grateful for y'all to let us come and figure out how to help you. I've got verdicts all over the country, multi-million-dollar verdicts against the insurance companies on the big commercial properties. But I'm happy to help. No claim too big, too small. Anything we can do to help. One of my proudest verdicts was a $36,000 verdict I got in Florida for a gentleman, Juan Rojo, for a house fire. So as we say, there's no claim too big, too small. When the insurance company ought to pay you and they don't, you need to come to the folks that know how to do it to get help. Law firm like ours, I should say. I will go into a presentation. I like for the presentations to be somewhat interactive. You will have seen a lot of these slides from the last presentation if you were there. I cut it way down and I'm really trying to just talk about what happens after the storm, after the claim, what you should be doing at this point. But I believe if there is a way to, I'm looking at, I've got on one screen, I've got all the squares of the folks. If there's a question, I hate to say it, raise your hand. I'll try to get to it as we go. If I don't notice a question, just speak up. We're all friends here. And let's try to make this as interactive as we can and provide as much help to you as we can. Since I was made a co-host, I'm going to make every effort to share my screen and see if I can make this work. I'm trying to share. Boom goes dynamite. Do you folks see a PowerPoint screen or a
We can
PowerPoint
see
slide?
it.
Okay, great, great. Obviously, this is simply an introduction for who we are. Y'all know it's about Hurricane Beryl and beyond. The reason I'm glad that we say beyond is that we can help you with anything. It certainly doesn't have to be a hurricane claim. From 2021 and 22, I was selecting juries all over the country almost every month in fire cases, in plumbing cases, cast iron pipe plumbing cases. And so it doesn't have to be a hurricane claim if you believe that your property or one of the properties you own has a claim. Please come to us. We can help you with really virtually anything. As I think you know, this is for presentation purposes. We're not here violating any rules. We're here to provide information and education about the claim process. The first thing that I always want property owners to understand is that you are outnumbered, and it's typically, from my experience, I've been doing nothing but this for a little over 15 years. You've got a property owner on one side, typically. You've got the carrier's field adjuster who comes out and does the inspection. You've got the carrier's field adjuster supervisor who will make changes to their claim even though they've not ever seen it. You've got a desk adjuster who takes what the field adjuster does. That desk adjuster always has a boss that will review what they do with your claim. There'll be a supervisor over all the claims that will look at what that desk adjuster does. Then there's a vice president of claims up the organizational chart that looks at everything. Carriers will typically, even if it's behind the scenes, I know this because I represented insurance companies for the first 10 years of my law career. They always have an engineer that's looking at it, whether you know it or not. So you've got an engineer going against you from the start. They have building consultants, which are typically architects or engineers that are also working on the claim, looking for ways to deny. It's just the way it is. There's really no other way to say it. I love some insurance. I love insurance companies. Insurance companies provide me a nice living. Insurance companies have provided a way for me to provide for my family and now my granddaughter. So I'm not here to bash all insurance companies, but they've always got these people working against you. They will have an in-house lawyer or general counsel that gives advice on the policies. And then there's always an outside counsel that we ultimately end up going against when there is a claim that comes to us. And so in an effort to even out the playing field, as they say, we think you should be mindful that you're going, if it's just you, you're going against this group of people, come let us or a law firm like ours help you. There's always a before, during, and after in the claims process. It's a little late to talk about before and during because the hurricane was 4, 5, 6 months ago. So let's just talk about after if some of you are still going through it. You've got to, I recommend, what I always try to get people to do is have a folder that you put all your documents in, that you write things down. If there's a phone call, you've got a notebook, a log of who called when, who did you call, what number, who'd you talk to, summarize the call. It's just so important, ultimately, when it gets to a place where the claim ought to be paid, that you come with that evidence ready so that we can have that to make sure you get paid everything that the insurance company owes you. Pictures, pictures, pictures. Hopefully you've taken pictures before. As much as you can, take all the pictures after to show what the documentation is of what the property looked like before, what the property looked like after. Most phones have picture and video. Take video when you can. Make a spreadsheet, hopefully from the pictures that you took before, because you'll never remember this. You have to look at the pictures and put it into a spreadsheet what your personal property was. You have a duty to make temporary repairs, put what you can back together so that the property doesn't continue being damaged. That can be used against you if you don't take reasonable steps that you can to mitigate the damage, keep it from getting worse. Now, a lot of times we can't because we don't have the money like the insurance companies have. They haven't paid us for the claim, so we can't fix it. We can deal with that if we have to, but if you can do anything to temporarily repair the property, put over a tarp, board things back up, that's a duty that the insurance policy puts on you as the policyholder. Receipts, receipts, receipts. Anything you spend. If you buy a case of water for the people helping you demo your house, anything you spend money on, keep the receipt, put it in that claim for your personal claim folder. That way we can always make sure to try to get every single penny that you're owed. If it's an investment property, you're going to need to gather your tax returns. You're going to need to gather your profit and loss statements, gather your leases. When we're recovering for commercial property, that way you just need to have those documents ready, proving your lost income and proving how that's the documentation that we need to prove to recover for your lost income. If you're in the middle of the claim, it's a little bit late to know what your coverages are, but if you can't read and interpret your insurance policy, they're this thick. It took me a while to figure out what all those things meant. I don't expect you to know what it means. Come to one of us. We'll read your policy. We'll tell you what you really have covered and what you don't. The insurance company representation doesn't always accurately describe what you really are covered for and what you're not. That's why folks like Thomas and I and Kurt exist, because they don't always tell you exactly what you should be paid for. You'll need to know if you get replacement cost, actual value costs, what we talked about a moment ago. What are some of your duties? You have a duty to cooperate. You have a duty to show them your books. You have a duty to let them inspect if they request, and you have a duty to try to keep it from getting worse. You have a duty to mitigate your damages, any reasonable steps you can take. There are times when you can make permanent repairs. When you're ready to make permanent repairs, if you have the wherewithal to do it, always need to give notice to the insurance company. They're going to always want it. Typically, they're going to want to inspect one last time, even though they've been out there 4, 5, 6 times before you make permanent repairs. They'll use it against you if you don't give them notice and time to come out and take one last look. The wind always comes before the water, but there is always a conflict between, in a storm like like Beryl, like Harvey, when there's wind and flood, we need to make sure that we understand the difference between was the damage caused by flood or was the damage caused by wind. Um, and even particularly with an investment property in Texas, the law is you cannot assign your insurance claim to to someone else. And so it's a little bit different than most states. Most states you can simply assign the claim. Someone pays less, they get their money back from the claim. In Texas, you can't do that. And so you really need to be careful about someone presenting you with a document that says, assign your claim to me and I'll buy your property for X money. That it can't be assigned. And if you don't own the property, you can still recover for the actual cash value. And so better to talk to one of us that can advise you if you have a property that was so damaged that you want to sell it before you get the claim finalized and make the repair. Now we're talking about some of these, Thomas, I think you were going to talk about some of the Louisiana cases. Really, we're here to talk about mostly the way I try to present in these things is I know you have a problem. I understand your problem because I have faced your problem. I have lost property twice to hurricanes and completely and a little bit on the last one. And so we understand the process. We understand what folks are going through. And here are some things that we've done to help. Thomas, do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah. So these are the cases that we in AKD do in Louisiana, and these are some of the examples of what happens if you guys are looking at these. Look at the damages provided to us by the client. This is a hotel in Harahan, Louisiana, that we can recover for. Next slide, Philip. So what can we do to help out? Okay, so next slide. This is another one, another hotel residence, Marriott in Baton Rouge. As you can see, a lot of people, they don't use, we have adjusters and experts who goes onto the field, create their own expert reports. We even have drones to fly up because most people don't have this type. If you don't go have a drone go up, you won't see the scattered damages like this that they would do. Some of the field adjusters for insurance company will come in, they'll just BS and write some stuff, but they don't see all these things that you see here with the scattered damages. Next. All right, so this is another one that's as you can see, damages that's on major steel panels from the hurricanes. Okay, but look, we're gonna get straight to it. Let's give you some examples of what we do. What are the settlements? Okay, so these are some of the settlements. Big commercial properties that did not meet the deductible per the insurance company. But this is we settled $20 million for a condominium complex. If we weren't involved, they would have got nothing. Another 1.5 mil for a medical building in Louisiana. $955,000 for a retail store, and $2 million for some rental homes. So that's what we can provide with AKD and the Huang Law Firm from the Louisiana point of side. Now let's talk about some of the Texas stuff that we have.
Over the years, Hurricane Ike, Hurricane Harvey, and Hurricane Beryl, I've represented First Church in Pearland, Grace Church. They have many locations throughout Houston, Clear Lake, the Woodlands. I've represented all those churches, multi-million-dollar settlements. Not all of them were below deductible on the first go around from the insurance carrier, but like First Church of Pearland, we got a little over $4 million for them and they were under deductible at their first inspection. There's the First Baptist Church in Pearland. Again, a lot of these were Hurricane Ike, Hurricane Harvey, the Holiday Inn Hotel in Beaumont, Super 8 Motel in Houston. Washington Place Lofts is a condominium in the Heights after Hurricane Beryl. We've got a multi-million-dollar claim that I believe will settle within the next few weeks for them. So these are, again, just places throughout, representative clients and representative settlements that we're getting for these folks when they got these larger commercial claims or residential claims. Everyone wants to talk about their big commercial claims. I keep the lights on and keep my bread and butter with the residential claims. So don't think that we won't help you with those as well. Again, just the rental homes. If some of you are landlords or you have clients that are landlords, it's a little bit different policy under a rental home that has to be designated that way, but we do those all the time. And so that's an easy, nothing's ever easy. It's a simple fix to keep going from that policy, one policy to the next.
And
Thomas,
we have to slide a little bit out of order, but some of these are also Louisiana clients of ours. We even represent, AKD even represents parishes and city governments, municipals, big hotels, and condo associations. So with all of the law firms involved, we're pretty, have a wide range of representation with government, state, parish, private. So that's basically what we have for you guys today. We're not trying to keep you guys your work. But there's one thing that I do wanted to mention. If whoever attended the last presentation when I was in Houston, someone did bring up the issue of the assignment of benefit, right? The assignment of the insurance claim. And that's one big distinction right there. You see how it is when you have to have someone else? Louisiana, on the other hand, allows that. But Texas, according to Philip, right? Philip?
right. Yeah,
So
there's no assignment of benefits, no assignment of claim in Texas. We work around that. You can assign a lawsuit. And so when that is part of a transaction that's going to be a deal breaker, we just go ahead and file the lawsuit. We can assign the lawsuit. There are ways that innovative attorneys can work around it. But if someone comes to you, assign me your claim, or I will assign you my claim, it's against the law in Texas. The courts will absolutely throw it down.
yes, that's, I think, for you guys, I think that's a big, big, big thing to know about, because I think sooner or later, one of you guys or one of your friends, one of your associates probably has gone through that or will probably get to one of those transactions. So if you guys have any questions on how to properly do it to make
I'm going to stop sharing there. Okay. Okay.
So Thomas, how do you guys get paid for all this?
Good question. Philip, I'll let you.
Sure. So it's always a contingent fee. It's always, if we don't recover for you, then you don't owe us anything for our fee or expenses. In Texas, thankfully, there are some hoops, there are some processes that the lawyers have to go through, and that we always do, of course, that makes it possible under the law in Texas that the insurance company has to pay our fee, actually. And so no matter what, it will never be any money out of your pocket that you have now. And the vast majority of the time, the claims are such that when we get involved, we follow the rules, the steps in place that Texas law requires, so that the insurance company pays extra on the claim to pay our attorney's fees and expenses. That way, there's typically, we won't resolve a case. It's always your decision. We won't advise you to resolve a case unless and until we make sure there's enough money left over after the fee and the expenses for you to do the work that you've got to do to repair your property.
Got it. Okay, well, sounds like a win-win for me.
Yeah, that's why I tell people all the time. Especially over here in Louisiana, I represent a lot of Vietnamese American and people that are a lot more not as affluent, and they will get played by the insurance company, and they're like, "No, I don't have any money to hire you." And I tell them, "Ma'am, sir, that's the reason why you hire, because you don't have to have the money. We forked out the experts, we bring out the engineers, we filed the lawsuits, we pay the advance costs. You just sit back, help us advance the claim, get the inspection. If we have to go to trial, we'll go to trial. We'll fork it out." So really, you're right, Hui. It's a win-win situation for the client. At the end of the day, you would not have gotten the money anyway, right? Or any other new money, unless you file a lawsuit. Like Philip said, it's one person against potentially 10 or more. I'm pretty let's add one guy to your side, right? Or add 2-3 firms to your side and let us handle that so we can fight these people. Because at the end of the day, fires are coming, floods are coming, and more tornadoes and hurricanes are coming. I think it is what it is. You know, we can't run from that. And I think Houston and the greater Houston area, and everywhere, you guys are seeing that. We for sure know that already. So we want to make sure that our community, I think a lot of you guys are representing like the Asian American community. I think we have not been utilizing and going after these claims, and we just been taking whatever the insurance company is giving us, right? And here, this is our chance. We want to see when we educate the community to make that informed decision. My own brother, hi, I think is on here too. He never thought about it either. And now what? Guess what? We're representing him, right? So my own family, okay, my own family. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you, Thomas. I think in the Asian American culture, we have this tendency that not to fight, we try to settle things. And sometimes, we're getting abused by it. So yeah, by all means, when the hurricane pass by, I submit all my rental for claim and I fight until they give up, right? There's no
Yeah.
way that I'm gonna
Yeah.
accept. It's just funny, like true story. I won't tell you the amount I settled, but the first amount that Allstate offered me is $400. Can you believe it? I have roof damage and they've offered me $400. I was like,
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
So I
We
fight
believe you
all the
because
way until the end.
we seen it. Okay, we believe you. The other people don't know.
I was like, are you kidding me? Like $400? Yeah, go.
And Hui, that's you
You
being
do
a
that to
very,
me.
that's you being a very educated, young, right? Know the rules, the documentation. Imagine all the elders, right?
Yeah,
The people who don't speak English as fluent, who don't who document,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna protect them? Who's gonna be on their side? You, you gotta get you gotta do your own claims. So
Yeah.
let's look out for the people who needs a little bit more protection. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. All
Does
right.
anyone else have any question for us? Any hands? I don't know how this thing works. If I've even
I'm monitoring the chat here. I'm sure people they're gonna watch the replay later. It's just the holiday season
oh,
and
of course, of
all
course.
over the
I'm just
place.
trying to think of what else I can think of that is relevant. Do you think everything else that's relevant, Philip? You see
You know, just
upcoming?
um, there's winter weather coming. We all know about the winter freeze, the pipes break. There's going to be claims for that, things of that nature. Particularly with rental property, when we see those type of hurricane freeze, winter freeze claims, the insurance companies will deny, saying that it was vacant, things of that nature. They'll come up with different types of reasons to exclude, and they really don't apply. And so again, I would simply encourage you to, if you have that type of loss, file your claim and get with professionals, us or people like us, that can help you really understand what the insurance company owes you.
I do want to make one more mention that I know we talked a lot about Louisiana, we talked a lot about Texas, but I also want to tell you guys the Panda Law Firm actually has several offices in different states, and one of the big ones is in Florida. So I know I'm pretty sure someone out of your group has property in Florida. We also the Panda Law Firm also has attorneys over there right now, actually, right, fighting for um shoot, I just forgot the hurricane. What's the big hurricane that just
Barrel.
Francine? No, was it
That,
Barrel? That's
well,
another.
there was Milton is the one that I'm
Yeah,
dealing with
Milton, yes.
Florida, in Florida right now.
You
Yeah,
guys
I'm
tap.
licensed in Florida. I lived in Florida. I've tried all the cases in Florida. And so we've got anywhere you are. I'm licensed in Oklahoma, Nebraska,
Yeah,
anywhere you need. I'll either be licensed or we'll have a colleague that we can collaborate with and help you
correct, correct.
wherever you need.
I want to tell you guys any type of natural disaster thing that has to do with property insurance. If you guys don't know, guys are iffy about it, give me, Kurt, or Mr. Phillip a phone call, and we'll try to resolve it. If we can't help you, don't worry. We will know somebody who will. Okay, I can guarantee you that.
I have a questions.
Please.
Okay, so if my client just bought an investment home and they have not fixed the roof, so can they file for the insurance?
No, the claim belongs to whoever owned the property and owned the policy, the date of loss. And so if they bought it after, if they bought the property after there was already the storm hit and caused the damage, then they don't have a claim.
Unless the signed the lawsuit, right?
Well, if the prior owner filed a claim and can file a lawsuit and then can assign the lawsuit, right, there are some hurdles to jump. But in and of their own, if they bought a home that was already damaged, they don't have a claim for the past damage.
Yeah, but hello, if you hi, it's actually my brother, Philip. Very easy
Hey.
resemblance. If you have anything I love, just tell me later. And we could try to have something. You know, Philip can always do a Zoom conference later, or you can go see him later. He'll try to help you out.
Okay.
You bet.
All right. Anyone else?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you for having us, guys. That was quick. I like it. Short and sweet. And if you guys need us, you guys know our emails, our contacts. Give us a call.
Yep, thank you so much for your time, Thomas. We're gonna have this video up in our website so that way people can rewatch and reach out to you.
Great.
I'm gonna type my phone number, my cell number, and my email into the chat real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have an email. I should have already done this. I apologize for waiting a sec.
All right.
If you need me direct, that's how to get me direct. We'll always be working through Thomas and Kurt with our collaboration. I really appreciate y'all taking the time, letting us be here.
Thank you, May,
Thank you.
and the
Thank you,
group.
everybody.
From AKD Hall Law Firm and Pendant Law Firm, you guys have a great Christmas event tomorrow. Take a lot of pictures, drink for us, party for us. We'll try to come next time and and
Absolutely.
relationship with each other. But we will likely continue this in the future if you ever need us. Okay.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, sir. Bye, everyone.